Evening, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. We are doing the whatever is this 11th hour therapy session. What I wanted to do essentially was create this thing for my sanity. I know we got the bounding live stream that happens on Wednesdays, and I really want to keep going on that one. But essentially, there's a lot of voices that you get to hear on Wednesday, and my voice being amongst them. But I wanted to have this live stream specifically to hear all the jumbling voices that are going on inside of my head, which is uh, any number of them wishing to express their opinion. I'm not schizophrenic, I just have a lot of thoughts about what's going on with the world today. So, without further ado, um, let's get started. We do have an agenda, so I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible without getting lost in the minutia of thought that goes on and on and on. Uh, First and foremost, next week we're going to switch up a little bit with the content on this channel. See a lot of people just getting into the grind, making videos on the daily. So, Bounding into Comics right now, they've got the Daily Stupid. I contributed to the Tuesdays Daily Stupid, a live stream that covered some of the stupidest things that were happening. I guess a commenter decided that Tammy Duckworth was too low of a blow for the Daily Stupid, so whatever. I contributed to that. I don't like politics, but I do see that politics is really inundated the the sphere of Hollywood. So guess what? We can't avoid it. Mercale, Emperor of Corruption, the evolved form of Lopter, Demon King of Inferno, hail. Yeah. So there's a lot of daily things that can be done in terms of the sheer amount of stupidity going on. Yeah, absolutely. I would encourage it. But back to the announcement, because everybody's on that grind, I decided I need to be on that grind as well. So what I will be doing is a daily thing as well. And I will be having the word of the day. Now, the word of the day essentially is going to be uh, trying to define words that are appropriate to the current situations that we're in. So, for example, biological male. Yes, that is a term that is seen as oppressive and uh, bigoted and sexist. But you are a biological male. To him, hail. Yeah. So I'm going to be choosing words that are just being buzzed around, and we're going to properly define them because I think it's important as a society that we have a clear definition of what these things are. Right now, people are throwing words around and not knowing what they mean. There are no boundaries to the words. They just throw them out there, and it's just like, okay, they mean exactly what I need them to mean to help me do the things that I need to do to justify me in the things that I feel are my goal, my purpose. And that's not it. That's not it. In any court, those things would just be slapped down. Right now, there's a problem going around in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals they decided that you shouldn't have any kind of carrying of firearms. No, no carrying of firearms, really? I thought the Second Amendment was the right to bear arms. That, but from what I understand, they're cool with bearing because bearing is the Second Amendment, but carrying is not. I thought that bearing meant carrying. So we're going to go over some definitions, just simple, straightforward definitions of things that need to be clarified because these these people will go to court. These people will have to get into the legal system and try to justify their positions. And unfortunately, because their positions are so indefensible, they don't know the definitions of words, we need to be on top of it. Because we know that the very things that make up the fabric of our legal system are going to be essential for us to learn and navigate our way through because all these guys are going to come at us with a bunch of lawsuits and bullshit and they'll try to take down whatever, if YouTube kicks us off because we're too toxic, we have too weird of an opinion, they for whatever reason we lose this platform, it will be important that we have another platform and we have another server and carrier who will be which will be able to get our content out there. When that happens, we need to have the legal documents and the ways and means around getting through some of those tricky legal discourses. Education's not a bad thing, folks. It's not a bad thing. Yeah, they treat certain words today like participation trophies. It's freaking but yeah, that's the announcement. We're going to get some dailies out there. It's going to be like a 3 to 5 minute video and we'll dive into what the word is, how it's defined, and how it's used in a sentence and how it's abused in sentences used by social justice warriors. And there you go. That's what we're going to be doing on the daily. I might not do it on the weekends, but on the daily, I'm going to get those going. And on Mondays, the draw streams are back on. We're going to do the draw streams. I'm really liking the way my rogue turned out, or is turning out. I liked the way that my new warriors, kind of the old classic cover, I like the way that turned out. I'm getting a lot of. Don't you degenerates ever say frickin' Kogi Pan? No, they don't. Thank you. Yes. And what I wanted to get into is this is the 11th hour, whatever. 11th hour, 10th hour. Let's not get hung up on technicalities. This the 10th hour. We've got T minus 2 minutes until Falcon the Woke Soldier. I'm sorry, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We all saw the first episode, right? I didn't express everything that I wanted to express about how I felt about the first episode. So here, we're going to do a little bit of review. And we're going to have a little bit prediction based on what I saw. So strap in, everybody. So the episode started well enough. We're getting introduced to Falcon and on a mission. I guess he's in the Golan Heights or Afghanistan. He has some ground support in some soldiers in a jeep, keeping an eye on his position through binoculars and the use of global positioning technology. Falcon has to obtain or has to save a soldier who has some valuable information. Uh, and then we're introduced to the enemy. What was his name? Batroc the Leaper. And the only reason I realized it was Batroc the Leaper, they started speaking French, and Batroc is French. Ah, yeah. I would, I would encourage that. Yes, absolutely. And that'll bring up my second point. But here's the thing: these guys are they're about to get into this canyon. Their Falcon is flying, and then Batroc the Leaper has stolen this soldier or kidnapped this soldier, and he's got a wingsuit, and he's doing the wingsuit from helicopter to helicopter, and Falcon is flying in this kind of like cat and mouse chase. Uh, Long story short, he gets the soldier back before they enter into this undefined, no fly zone area. And then it gets boring. We're taken to Washington or the Smithsonian. He gives this shield of Captain America to the Smithsonian. He has a little talk with um, uh, Iron Patriot. No, War Machine. I forgot the character's name. Gosh dang it. But he has a little talk with him, and the line that I vaguely remember is, "We need a hero for these times." And then I was just like, okay, here we go. And then they get into this really boring part where Sam is trying to help his sister with her fishing boat because everybody had blipped back and things weren't really running the way they were supposed to be running, and the family business, blah blah blah. Okay, so they need money to repair the boat. Goes to the bank, can't get a loan. Why? Superheroes, they weren't paid. And then uh you know it it's kind of implied that there's a bit of discrimination there. I was just like, okay, are we gonna go there? Are we gonna go there? Yes, fucking, you guys are savages. Freaking heck. Anyway, so that's, you know, we move on to the Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier has a nightmare, and the nightmare is essentially him reliving the kills that he had done as, as Winter Soldier after having the reciting of Mary Had a Little Lamb, or whatever the trigger thing was in that little red ledger. And he's in this therapy session the next morning, and you discover he's got this little notebook of things he needs to amend. His one of his names on the list was, I guess, a senator who had been doing some dirty deeds using the Winter Soldier to get those things that she wanted. Um, he sets her up. He doesn't kill her. He sets her up, and everything that she had said was recorded, and she gets busted. And then names crossed off. Uh, and then a second name is on there, and you find out it's the name of this old man, and the old man was the father of the kid that he had killed in the nightmare before. A reliving of his past as the Winter Soldier some time ago. So his befriending of the old man is out of guilt. He eventually gets a date with the Asian woman in the restaurant that he frequents, and it goes nowhere. And eventually, that whole thing falls apart, and it's like a PTSD thing for Bucky, which is, you know, I found that more interesting, dealing with the horrors of being an assassin and trying to live a normal life afterward. I found that more interesting than, Falcon trying to get a loan from a bank and trying to fix a ship up afterward, trying to fix the stupid boat so it could run. After that, uh, one of the dudes that was helping Falcon in the Afghan Golan Heights area, he said he's out on a mission in, I don't know, some sort of square. I wish I had taken notes on this, but whatever. I didn't care about it too much because I'll show you something. He goes out into the square, and the guy, he's got this thing, and it allows him to get in touch with everybody that's part of this group, this gang, this movement. And they go, okay, meet at this location. He meets that at that location, and everybody points him in a certain direction. In that direction, this dude or this chick drops something, opens it up. It's a whole bunch of masks, and all the direction is to put it on and then wait for the next thing to drop. And the next thing to drop was run. And so chaos ensues. Everybody's running around, and a dude drops out of the third story of a building with two large bags. Holds up the bags. Two other runners take the bags from him. One of the security guards attempts to stop him, and he kicks him. And when he kicks him, he flies, and he flies into a pole. And it's implied, it's not known, but it is implied that these are special people. What special means, I'm not quite sure, because he stops himself short of saying what they actually are, or guessing what they actually are. And I think the guy that got beat up, because he got beat up, he tried to face down that guy that kicked the security guard, and got curb stomped. But yeah, he kind of stopped short of saying the thing that he needed to say, but the other guy kind of understood what he was trying to say and said, "Yeah, it looks like that." So I don't know if they're going to be dropping more enhanced soldiers like Bucky and Captain America were, or they're going to. You know what? I'm not going to hang my hopes on it. I'm not going to hang my hopes on mutants, They had their chance in WandaVision to start introducing us to them. But I think it's it's not worth it. It's not worth it anymore. Again, let's find out why, shall we? We're going to let's see. Let me share my screen here so you guys can figure out what I'm doing here. Okay. So, here we go. Let's increase that. Okay. Look at that. So we've got Justice League actor Carl Lumbly to play a black Captain America in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. What does that mean? Can somebody tell me? What does that mean? Well, so I'm tired of this damn thing. There. That's a proper border there. So, a new rumor claiming that the Justice League actor Carl Lumbly, who voiced Martian Manhunter in the well-known animated series, not the one that just happened, not Zack Snyder's Justice League, and not Joss Whedon's, the animated Justice League. Yeah, he could play Black Captain America in the upcoming Falcon and the Winter Soldier Disney Plus series. Lumbly played Min Jones for the CW's Supergirl. Played Dick Halloran in Doctor Sleep. Back in the 90s, he was Miles Hawkins in Mantis, which was a fantastic show. If you have not seen Mantis, go watch it. It is, I think it was an underrated show for its time because it explored like disability, and it explored like it was kind of like Batman, but black. You know, he was a millionaire, maybe even a billionaire, but and he had this suit that he would wear, or he would have this exoskeleton that he would wear, which would allow him not only the ability to move, but the ability to do above and beyond the regular human abilities. Anyway, it was a great show. I liked it. And that's the thing. That's the thing. It wasn't a black issue. It wasn't a, you know, it was just cool. And I liked it because it was cool. Anyway, so he goes red, white, and black. So that's the comic that he showed up in. Red, white, and black. By Robert Morales and Kyle Baker. He was part of the World War II Super Soldier program that performed human experiments on Black Americans, which ended up killing many of them. Bradley did survive, despite the United States government informing his pregnant wife that he had been killed. And so this is the artwork from the comic there. And it is okay. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Anyway, he would be sent on a single man suicide mission behind enemy lines, and the mission would take him into the Nazi concentrations camping, where the German soldiers were performing experimentations on prisoners, experiments that were an attempt to duplicate the American super soldier program, blah blah blah. Uh, essentially, what this would mean. Uh, so at D23 kept prior to the Falcon and Winter Soldier being having all the press that it can currently has, he said Anthony Mackie said that Sam Wilson would be his own character. He would be Falcon in Falcon and Winter Soldier. He was not looking forward to becoming Captain America, because Captain America is Captain America and Falcon would be his own character. And I respected that. That's cool. That's cool when a character stands on their own as creates a name for themselves rather than standing to take away from the name of somebody else. Um, yeah, but you know what this means, though. So they're talking about Lumbly playing Bradley, and then he talks also about the racial issue. Because the perception in the show right now is that Captain America was the first. But, oh, wait, we've got Carl Lumbly, who is actually the first Captain America. And I actually like that picture more than the one in the comic book. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think we got into it that much here. But here's the thing. The woke mainstream media outlet, The Undefeated, pushes the idea that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Sam Wilson, deserves to be Captain America because he is black. Black. What was their reasoning behind this? Well, the woke mainstream media outlets have recently had the chance to watch Marvel Studios' The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and following their praising of the show for introducing Sam Wilson as the new Captain America, one particular outlet has made it his role as the Steve Rogers successor. Has made it his role as the Steve Rogers successor about race and not merit. Race, not merit. And it kind of ties in with the Isaiah Bradley thing, because Isaiah Bradley was black. He was supposed to be Captain America, but because he was black, he could not be Captain America. And now we have the same thing going on. At the end of the episode, this is what I wanted to talk about. An important announcement was made. Sam Wilson's sister told Sam, come into the house. You need to see this. Sam sits down, watches. The Smithsonian Institute, I guess in front there. Some old dude says, "We need a hero for these times," and down the steps comes the dude from Up in kind of a Captain America garb, but carrying the shield. And they focused on that shield. Oh, yes, the shield, which is symbolic, I guess. Um, it's kind of redundant for Falcon to have that. When I think about it, it's like, why would Falcon have Captain America's shield? In that first action pack sequence, Batroc the Leaper fires a semi automatic gun at Falcon, and Falcon holds up his wings. Falcon's wings are freaking bulletproof, and they are bouncing off all of those bullets. That's a pretty damn good shield. And I would even think that the wings were manufactured in Wakanda with vibranium, the same metallic substance that comprises the shield. So he's got some lightweight wings that can deflect bullets, most likely made of vibranium. Let's be honest. If you have access to the king of Wakanda, T'Challa, and you are helping him, get rid of all of these outriders, and guess what? Guess what? Uh, he's got a few things to give you, some gifts. Plus, he's got a big ass lodestone underneath his freaking backyard. Anyway, so gives the iconic vibranium shield to Sam Wilson and hopes he'll eventually take up the mantle of Captain America. And this is where the Disney Plus series picks up. Winter Soldier was released, and it was a fan favorite amongst moviegoers. Sam Wilson was introduced in that film, and he's done a great job depicting the charismatic and heroic character, but woke media outlets have chosen to see nothing but the color of his skin as the main attribute that makes him the deserving title of Captain America. So, in their little article on the Undefeated, this writer, Raina Kelly, prefaces her piece by asserting a black superhero steps into the spotlight when neither the world nor the Avengers are okay. What? What? Robert Downey Jr. just died. Captain America is either too old or I have a theory he got stronger, but that's beside the point. Uh yeah. I don't think there are Avengers right now. Anyway, completely missing the point about Sam actually being a worthy successor. Whatever. So, because he is black, not because he can hold his own, despite the fact that he does not have a super soldier serum. I was being in on some of the live streams, and Gary from Nerdrotic, he talked about when Captain America gave Bucky the shield. And when Bucky had the shield, it was a great run. A lot of his patrons over at his comic book store loved it, and they were just like, okay, I'm good with Steve Rogers not coming back because this was an epic run with Bucky as, the Winter Soldier / the new Captain America. It's when Falcon got the shield and became the new Captain America, that's when things went south. and that's when the sales kind of tanked. And it brings into this a larger discussion about woke writing, woke presentation, and it's just like, is it possible? Is it possible for a writing to be as woke as the most wokest writer can make it and still be absolutely ingrained with the things that are fundamental to good storytelling? Is it possible? Because I see a vast gap in understanding of these two storylines. One is focused on the character development. One is focused on a character learning from mistakes, being able to grow, a character having flaws, us discovering qualities of the character as they go through their journey to become what they ultimately will become. In the woke realm, all the stories that I see are all about this character is already. It's just the things that are around that character are holding them back from being all that they can be. That's not interesting to me. I'm sorry. That's not good storytelling. That is not a presentation of a character that I want to see, because that's not the human experience. The human experience is all about growth. It's about failure. It's about getting beaten down and coming back. That's that, you know, honestly. Anyway, you know, just any good storyteller will be able to tell from side A. Any bad storyteller will be able to tell you from side B. Mulan. Mulan had all this chi built up within inside of her, but she couldn't be that in a male army that was holding her back. Captain Marvel, another one. She was immensely powerful, but she had this thing, and she had these doubts, and she needed to just release all the doubts and release the damn thing on her neck, and she could be as powerful as she needed to be, and she don't need no fucking man. Just like what the, you know? Yeah, that's the Mary Sue. That's the Mary Sue storytelling. And you know, I don't think I don't think woke entertainment can do anything from side A. All they're ever going to be able to do to fill in the hole that is so desperately in in the hearts of their readers and their viewers is to say everything from side B. It's all within you. You just got to release it. Rather than nothing. You got nothing, bro. You need to learn. You need to experience. You need to have these life lessons to teach you, you know, the thing that you have is not good, or the thing that you understand about the world is not correct. You need to have a course correction. And these guys go through a course correction. Robert Downey Jr. goes through a course correction. He is in the first Iron Man. He is absolutely a pompous jerk, dick, everything. He's still that, but he realizes that the things that he was doing with his father's company, with the weapons that were being manufactured, they were falling into the wrong hands, and he had to shut it down. He had to turn that whole thing around. And Robert Downey Jr. in that movie goes through a redemption arc of trying to build this thing to combat the things that he had built prior. And, it became his growth from being a selfish person into being a selfless person. A hero. A hero. Wow. Imagine that. Being a hero. Yeah, they want their instant coffee warriors compared to the roasted coffee warrior. Nothing wrong with instant coffee. However, roasted coffee, that slow roast and that slow drip is 1,000 times more effective. Anyway, so getting back to it, we know that we know what this show was made for. We know who it was made for, and you know why it was made. Ultimately, it's about getting those woke points. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, as we're going to continue with the show, is going to further reveal its purpose. And its purpose is to knock down the um, the current meritocracy understandings of things. It's going to focus on race. It's going to just beat you over the head with it. No, I don't think it'll beat you over the head with it. Let me take that back. I don't think it's going to beat you over the head with it, but it's going to be enough to be annoying. It's going to be enough to take down the writing just so much that you just like, okay, this is just mediocre. It's the Jack Schaefer thing. Just like she puts enough in there because you know why she put it in there? Because Kevin Feige told her to put it in there. But enough of her shit was in there to just bring things that we saw down and to make the show mediocre. It's like she didn't know about Mephisto. God damn it. How do you get into the business of writing a comic book movie or a comic book show and not read the comic books? I don't get it. I just if Marvel gave me the opportunity, the glorious opportunity to write for one of their shows, I'd ask them, what the hell are you thinking? Have you not seen my resume? Do you not see my videos? Do you not see my writings? Anyway, so aside from that, if they say yes, I've seen all that shit, whatever, we need somebody who can write this shit that knows this shit. Okay, cool. I know I know the artwork. I never paid much attention to the stories because I thought the artwork was cool. And the stories, they didn't stick. Like God Loves Man Kills, that stuck. Mostly because the art didn't take away from the story too much, but it was complementary to the story. But like Jim Lee's art, just fantastic stuff that just I didn't focus too much on the story. I didn't. Sorry. I know it. There was a lot of words being thrown around. There was a lot of dialogue in those '90s books. You, the writers nowadays, when compared to what they were writing in the '90s, the writers nowadays look like cavemen, morons, gorillas. Because in the '90s, they were talking like, uh, you know, quantifiable existence to the nth degree. I would read that statement and I would just be like, what? What did it? what was just said? That was like from Monesa Croy over in Generation X. She was a smart cookie and the first Middle Eastern superhero. I guess she beat Kamala Khan by about 20 years. But yeah, that's par for the course. We've got Captain America, Winter Soldier, Falcon. Now, the end of the episode, we've got that. We've got the white guy with a weird chin in the Captain America garb. That's U.S. agent, played by Kurt Russell's son, Wyatt Russell. So, it also neatly explains why, when the time came for him to give up the shield, Cap gave it to Falcon because of all the folks he might have considered, he chose the one who told him in Captain America the Winter Soldier that everything Cap needed to know about the 70 years he lost frozen in ice could be found in Marvin Gaye's soundtrack to the film Trouble Man. Oh boy. Really? And that's yeah, that is a reach. Sorry. I mean, I like a few things from Marvin Gaye, but I'm not going to get the entirety of history from one song from him. Okay, and it gets even better. Raina Kelly also suggests that Steve Rogers' Captain America is a symbol of white superness. If you can read that one, I'll share that again because you guys need to see what the word is. What is the word? The word of the day. White superness. Because at this point, why not? Although the author doesn't explicitly allude to it, it's heavily implied. Perhaps it's another example of the vast difference between the black gaze and the white gaze. That's gaze, G-A-Z-E. Oh, you guys can see it, but whatever. Gaze, that kind of gaze, not. Anyway, a difference defined by that same sense of dislocation. And while the promise of America may not have yet come for us, its promise is still worth fighting for. In another deeply weird consequence of whatever the pandemic is, the alpha male, super white, super privileged definition of Captain America is gone because of the Captain America is gone. Yes. The reasons are varied, but watching it, the result feels true. Oh, gosh. Here's the thing. All these fucking artists, just their heads up their asses and sniffing their own farts. Anyway, Steve's decision to pass the mantle of Captain America to Sam Wilson doesn't boil down to Sam being black. Right? Steve knows that Sam is worthy of the title because he has all the characteristics of a hero. There it is. Making this about race is poorly thought out and rather a simplistic take. But this is the audience. Simple is good. Simple is fantastic. Simple is easy, and simple is easier to convey. Kelly's article was actually retweeted by Marvel Entertainment's official Twitter account, which makes it quite unfortunate since the article itself isn't really thought provoking. It's like walking through a puddle. The depth is just not there. It's actually biased, unfounded opinion, and it suggests Kelly has no real understanding of the characters she's writing about. So, yeah, The Undefeated. Unfortunately, I've never heard of this publication. Anyway, Twitter users were quick to react to Marvel's tweeting the link. And let's see. They call out the writer for pushing a narrative that chooses to focus on race instead of actual characterization. Wow. Here's the thing. I think people are waking up. I think people are waking up from the wokeism. Because when you say you're woke, you are fully fast asleep to a lot of stuff that's going on. You're just being spoon fed whatever the media wants you to have. And that is dangerous. That is against critical thinking. That's against trying to figure things out for yourself. Now you have somebody preaching to you and telling you what is. And I don't need somebody telling me what it is. I need somebody telling me not what it is. I need somebody just to think there's that thing. Now it's up to you to decide what to do with it. Not a lot of that kind of storytelling going on. Look, he's black. Yeah, a lot of Twitter users are just dogging down on this. Okay, why is race the first thing you pushed? Says comic class. Racism won't end until we just call people heroes and not a black, white, or Mexican or whatever superhero. There it is. That's true. I agree with this guy. Comic class. Stop looking at the pigmentation of their skin and just, what was that Martin Luther King speech? Judge them on the content of their character. That's very biblical. It's very biblical. Judge not, lest you be judged. But there's another scripture where it's just like, you know, golden rule, number 1, and then I think he talks about judging people by their works, by their deeds. You shall know them. Anyway, if you watch every movie or TV show through the lens of everything is racist, this is the kind of idiotic article you come up with. Yeah, I agree. Almeida the Fourth. And yeah, Marvel is virtue signaling about race. Falcon and the Winter Soldier director Carrie Skoglund, here we go, or Carl Skoglund, has referred to Captain America's shield as a white symbol. Oh, really? And has even expounded about the implications of having a black person wield said symbol. It's a very important conversation that we're having at this time. In particular, it's really bubbled to the forefront in the past year. What does it mean for a black man to pick up such an iconically white symbol? Skoglund noted during the recent interview with Yahoo Entertainment. What a Yahoo. What does that mean for the character? It's real exploration of what we have traditionally laid with this iconic red, white, and blue of it, and now we are taking it down another road. So patriotism is a white symbol. Red, white, and blue is a white symbol. Okay, Skoglin. I know Hollywood's not into patriotism too much, but I know, you know, I know there's a difference between being a fucking director of a show that's trying to get their product out to a large audience and not insulting that audience. I know that you gotta do one and not this. You gotta do the not offending your audience versus whatever this is. Uh, so Sam Wilson may end up becoming Captain America by the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier. So whatever you said at D23, ixnay on that one. He might become Captain America. Woke journalists need to understand that this has to be earned, and the color of a character's skin is never, never a requirement. But it might be for the show. Who knows? Because it seems to be going down that route. Anyway, an argument being made for Bucky is every bit as worthy as a successor as Sam Wilson. You'll never likely see an article that will entertain the idea. Not on the media that we've got right now. So yeah. And then they talk about the garbage tier. Railroad Captain America. So this brings up another interesting point. My third point, as we're going into the second episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, it looks like we're going to get some hallucinogenic drugs. You know what? That would be great if we could get some hallucinogenic drugs in about an hour. Take them now, some quaaludes, some shrooms, and have them kick in the next hour when the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 2 drops. We might actually enjoy that thing. Yeah, to hell I'm not looking forward to the second episode, to be honest. The first episode didn't grab me. I'm basically out at this point. But it leads to the second. This lady right here, her name is Olivia Munn. She was the host of a show at some point, and then she became Psylocke. That's all I know. She is the bell-worthy one. However, the bell rings only for the outward characteristics. The inward characteristics of this person is, yeah, I don't even know how to describe it, but she's dumb. She's stupid. I think she'd make the Daily Stupid just cringe. Anyway, X-Men Apocalypse star Olivia Munn claims white people should not direct black stories, Asian stories, Latinx stories. Here we go, Latinx. There it is. Is she going to do the Wimexen as well? Is that a thing? In a recent television appearance, actress Olivia Munn, best known for her tenure as the host of G4's Attack of the Show and her role as Psylocke in X-Men Apocalypse, asserted that white people should not direct films meant to tell black stories, Asian stories, Latinx stories. The way Hollywood's going right now, usually those stories are handled by black people, Latin people, Asian people. Why in the world would you put out that statement? It's dumb. Hollywood's already doing that shit. Quentin Tarantino he does the movie that he wants to do, and it features people that he wrote into it. Um, you know, 12 Years a Slave was directed by a black man. Crazy Rich Asians, Asian person. Fucking okay, dumbass. Whatever. Munn shared her opinion on the March 18th appearance of MSNBC's Andrea Mitchell Reports, where she was being asked by the host, What have you experienced in your career in a business that is supposed to be open on embracing and diversity? The actress implied, for the longest time, it has been that white people can tell everyone's stories. What the fuck? That is not. They can tell black stories, Asian stories, Latinx stories. We can support them. We can only support them. The fact that these stories have been whitewashed for so long and it's acceptable. The actress would go on to explain her opinion stemmed from her Asian appearance. Munn's mother is a Vietnamese Chinese. Has prevented her from being cast in period pieces. What? What? No. No, 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 no. Olivia Munn's a bad actor. If you watched X-Men Apocalypse, you would know. Like, she's good for hosting a show. That's pretty much it. She's good at being herself times 1,000 on camera. That's it. But in terms of like acting, playing a role, forget about it. Anyway, whenever I see an article come out about a cool movie with a director that happens to be a period piece, I've said, "Hey, can I meet on this movie?" Sounds like a really great concept. I'll hear back that it is a period piece, no other explanation. My Asian face does not fit into a period piece. I cannot tell those stories. Huh? That's really infuriating because everyone else is allowed to tell our stories. You're half. You're half. You can only tell half that story. It's like me. I'm not going to be in an Asian movie, unfortunately. But there are other roles that I can audition for that would be more open to having someone that looks like me. Dude, Dave Bautista. Dave Bautista is half Filipino, and he is Drax the Destroyer. And he had that weird movie with the kid, and he was just, you know, Mr. Mom or whatever. So, yeah, it's not about you wanting to act in a period piece or freaking in an Asian movie because you don't look Asian. It's just like you don't look Asian. You don't look Asian. You shore up your acting skills and you find a role where they're looking for, people. People that look like people who can act, who can play a part. There's a reason why you got the role of Betsy Braddock, because Betsy Braddock looks like a mixture of two things: Quanon, the assassin, and Betsy Braddock, both of which are Psylocke. Anyway, X-Men stuff. Anyway, so She would further note that the appearance of whitewashing in stories is not just in front of the camera, it's also behind the camera, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Look at the Tiger Woods documentary on HBO, referencing the recently released two-part series, Tiger. It's directed by two white men. It starts with his DUI. Yes, Tiger had a lot of traumatic moments, but also he's a black Asian American man who reached heights you never could have dreamed. Ooh. Dude, you pick one thing. You pick one thing that really isn't anybody's wheelhouse. I don't want to see the Tiger Woods story. No, whatever. Asserting that the aforementioned documentary was so negative, Munn speculated that it felt this way because it was told through the eyes of two men who did not know what it is like to live in the black man's skin or see the world through the eyes of an amazing. Here's the thing, you're writing a documentary, you document what has happened in this person's life, and you put it down on paper, and you put it in a script, and you give it to a narrator, and they put some clips together of this person's life. Boom. That's not a racial issue. That's an information gathering issue. Angelus Draven. Hail. Yeah, Munn is terrible. Can't discount that, though. Oh, yeah, but Munn cannot act. I don't think she can write either. But yeah, that's the role of a documentarian. They just gather stories together and they put it in a script, get some clips. This is the man's life. This is the life of Tiger Woods. Uh anyway. Blah blah blah. Wait. She was in Iron Man 2? Oh gosh. Anyway, so yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem that we see in Hollywood because this Olivia Munn, as crazy and as stupid as she is, that's the feeling in Hollywood. And brings me to my third point. My third point. What is my third point? Hollywood. The separation of Hollywood and the fandom. And it's a little bit of a deep issue because we've got a lot of things going on in Hollywood right now that are pissing fans off. You have no idea how pissed off we all are at just disappointment after disappointment. I think the only show I look forward to watching in the week is Superman and Lois. Because for some reason on the CW, this show is above and beyond in terms of writing. And and the visuals are just icing on top of the cake. The visuals are stunning, cinematic. It looks like they spent some money to make him look like he's doing the things that Superman would do. I just it boggles my mind. I would actually want to do a review of Superman and Lois because those Spencer handles that, but it's It's a phenomenal show. I would suggest it to anybody. It's something that is really lost on current television. The nuclear family, the the struggles of raising two teenage sons and keeping a marriage together and work life, and then the extracurricular activities of trying to save the world as the son of Krypton. Yeah, it's just like it. My hats off to the writing crew. Even the chick that got fired, uh, the parts that she was contributing to, hats off, because she had helped write that entire first season. uh, and it looks like whatever woke points that she was trying to bring up, they didn't really listen to her. It's fantastic. I love it. But that's the only show. That's the only show I'm looking forward to. All the other shows, like I haven't seen Dark yet, but I think everybody's loving Dark too. Um, all the other shows, I'm a hater, but I have my reasons for hate. I have my reasons for hating that shit because it's just garbage tier writing. It's all on that second premise that I talked about earlier. There's something inside of the character that just needs to come out. Something that's already inside of them that's being held back. Ugh. And Hollywood wants to tell that story. Absolutely. 100%. They have no qualms about wanting to tell that story because everybody's telling them that they need to tell that story. And they want to because that's something that they feel inside of them. There's something holding them back from telling the story that they want to tell. Okay, fuck you. Whatever. Um growth. Growth and learning. Hollywood's pissing off fans with horrible content. And then the fans voice their opinion because we can voice our opinion now. We can say, hey, this is a bad movie. Hey, this is trash. Hey, this is not the character of Superman. This is not the character of Jor-El. This is not the character of Carol Danvers, the Captain Marvel that I grew up with in the comic books or in the animated series. What are you doing? What are you doing? Social media. Social media. And what has social media done? It also gave those creatives access to the fans, and those creatives have told the fans to shut up, have disrespected the fans, and have labeled the fans as ists and phobes and z's and aughts. Just every name under the sun. Even calling us Russian bots because we dislike a movie, we dislike the writing of a movie or a television show. And Hollywood has essentially put themselves in an echo chamber. An echo chamber where the only things that they will make are things that will satisfy their ear and eye gate and whoever agrees with them, which is going to be a bunch of shills who can't think critically for themselves and for the fucking franchises that they have loved over the course of their life. I've seen people that they know comic books better than me. They know the comic books better than me. They know these characters, they know the histories, they know the ins and outs, covers to covers. They went through the golden age, the silver age, the bronze age of the comic books, and they can't for the life of them say anything bad against these fucking companies because they want to have access. And I say, fuck access. Give me good product. And that's the thing that these movie companies, these TV companies, they don't understand. They want to have good product. No, they don't want to have good product. They want to have product that they can just shovel out. And consumers who have no thought process to filter out shit, then just shovel it in. And I'm not about shoveling it in. I'm about having a detailed and critical analysis of the things that are being presented to me on screen, having a civil discourse and having a juxtaposition of the things that are being seen and consumed on screen versus the things that are being seen and consumed in the source materials. If those things are incongruent, then we have a problem, Houston. A failure to launch, as it were. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a failure to launch and a very tip of the iceberg in terms of the pandemic that is still running rampant in Hollywood. And that Hollywood pandemic is the sniffing of the liberal farts. Sorry, liberal arts. And for the life of me, I can't figure it out. What do we do at this point? The real cusp of the argument. There are two camps. There are two belief systems that are running right now in the spheres that we run around in. One school of thought is cut it off completely. Remove it like a cancer. Because Hollywood is a cancer. Every time it tries to get with us, it tries to stab us in the back, or every time we try, it consistently and almost habitually pisses on us and shits on us. And so why subject ourselves to that kind of abuse, like some battered spouse going back to the husband every time he says, here's a candy bar. Fuck that. Some sort of Stockholm syndrome shit. That's that one camp that says, fuck Hollywood. Let's make our own shit. Let's have this alternate economy. Our own content, our own web servers, our own audience. And we kind of do that with YouTube right now. Every person that watches our channels, that's a set of eyes that won't be watching HBO, won't be watching HBO Max, Disney Plus, the Peacock, Hulu, whatever else is going on out there. Every eye that watches this video isn't watching Hollywood, isn't listening to Hollywood. For some reason, being real with the audience is more endearing than some fake, rehearsed bullshit on screen with high production value. This is not high production value, but this is honest. This is genuine. As genuine as I can be, at least. But yeah. So you got that one school of thought. Second school of thought is to save Hollywood. That's through long suffering. patience, and infiltration, we can somehow salvage what's left of Hollywood after the Wokies have completely destroyed most of it, and to have them do a course correction. The only way I see that happening is if Hollywood's completely and utterly decimated. Decimated is not the right word. Devastated. You see it with Charlie's Angels. You see it with Ghostbusters 2016. You've seen it with Terminator Woke Fate. You saw it with the Birds of Prey and Harley Quinn, the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Sorry. You saw those movies and you saw that there was a trend of this, the woke agenda being just shoveled in, shovel, and none of the monies was coming in, shoveling out the agenda, but there were no shovels for the money. And at some point, there's going to be a discussion amongst the Hollywood elites, the circles within Hollywood, when all of that seems to have been burning down. They're going to have that conversation. Like, what do we do? None of this shit that these guys are writing is getting us returns. We're just pouring fucking money into these fucking projects, and none of it is getting money back to us. What do we do? Do we stop funding these dumbass artists who want to express, how rosy their farts smell? Because it's their inner power being expelled into the stratospheres. I saw this movie where this chick was like obsessed with a horse and she got abducted by aliens. Somebody threw money at that to be made. At what point do they say, "Oh, you know what? I want to throw my money at something that, it's like entertaining. Can I just throw my money at something that will be entertaining, not weird and bullshitty, not preaching at me, just something cool? I'd like to spend my money on something cool. I want people to spend money on something that's cool." And that's where you get a conversation about what's going to happen to Hollywood. That's going to be the dividing line. Where's the money going to go? Not customer money, because the customer money is already gone. It's gone. Hollywood's not going to be seeing that a lot now. Numbers are going to be down for Disney. Hands down. Because they delayed Black Widow. People are going to be scared to go back into theaters because they decided it would be better to release it as a day and date release. So they're not going to see Black Widow in theaters. Sorry, you lost money there. So what, you're going to do the same thing with Shang-Chi? Shang-Chi right now, it's not looking good. To me, not looking good. Shang-Chi is not a character that seems like an A character. Marvel can make $1 billion. Maybe not this year, but next year. Marvel could make $1 billion if they do the X-Men. Because those are A-class characters. But they're sticking to the guns. They're going to do Shang-Chi. They're going to do the Eternals. If things aren't back to where they need to be, are those also going to be day and date releases? are they also going to be PVOD options? Not sure, not sure. So Hollywood's got a problem. They can't get money. At one point, when these executives go, okay, we're not going to give you any more money for these films. Sayonara. And they'll see these independents. They'll see these creatives who are on the sidelines, who have been completely blackballed by Hollywood, ostracized by the elite, the artists. And they'll say, okay, we'll give you our money because you're making some cool shit. And we see that you have an audience. You got to think that's a possibility. That's a road that we have to cross at some point. We have a long way to get there. A long way. Right now, Gina Carano is doing some stuff with the Daily Wire, going to go into production for a movie that she will both direct and star in. And, you know, Keanu Reeves is doing the Netflix thing with Berserker, which was a indie comic with Matt Kind. Oh my gosh. Great writer. But yeah, that's what we've got going on, and it is a wonder what will happen within the next 3 years, the next 5 years. Dude, we're only in March and it is already going ape shit bananas. Ape shit bananas. The old system is being tested and poked and prodded. When I talk about the old system, I talk about the political system. We're talking about the cultural landscape of Hollywood. We're talking about the financial system of Hollywood. We're talking about the financial system of this United States, built upon a lie that continues to be pushed. Fugazi, Wall Street. And then the elite there, they're going to get their buttons pushed. They're going to have their fortunes fall. And what happens at that point, too. So a lot of things could be happening with the next 3 to 5 years. I know some of the stuff I wanted to say on the black pill stream, but I didn't. Is not enough time to really divulge into everything that I wanted to say. But yeah, this is it's going to be an interesting next 3 to 5 years for sure. But we are now 30 minutes away from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So what I'm going to do is I will leave you guys. So look forward to a daily thing coming in next week. We're going to be doing the word of the day, and on Monday I'm going to continue the draw stream, and we're going to get some stuff going there. Get some daily videos. That would be great. That'd be really great. Really. So to Hillam 29, thanks for joining. Angelus Draven, dude, you got my back. I got yours. We're yeah, it's good to have an opinion, even though your opinion might not be part of the crowd. It's important to voice your opinion, and a diversity of voices is always a great thing. So, man, I got you. OC Steve, Nano Reaper, Raquel, Emperor of Corruption. Kogipan, yeah. Everybody that joined me tonight, thank you. And we will see what happens for this episode, too. I am not looking forward to it. I'm terrified that a lot of those predictions, a lot of those rumors will come true as this show. Dude, it's so slow. Oh my gosh, it's so slow. And it's only 6 episodes. It's only 6 episodes. They got to pick it up. They got to pick it up. Anyways, all right. Night, guys, and we will see you on the flip side. Friday? Is there anything going on Friday? I don't think so. Sunday. Sunday, I will be on Supreme Heretics channel. We will be talking about the tokenization of the Asian American culture in America, wherein a lot of Asians are being used by political systems and political puppets to prop up themselves rather than really get Asian representation out there. Anyway, that's I have my own thoughts about that. There's a lot of nuance in a lot of the arguments. You'll hear some some stuff from Drew. You'll hear some stuff from the associate editor over at Bounding into Comics, Spencer Bakuli. You'll hear some stuff from Geeky Pixie, who is part of the, I believe, the community of geeks and gamers. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then you'll also have OG Star Wars, Alora. She will be participating as well, representing the the best of the Star Wars community. Anyway, so that's all I've got for you. I will see you guys on a Sunday. Take care.